Hi, welcome to this video. In this quick time lapse, I'll walk you through some of the things that I wanted to focus on in this quick gesture study session of mine. So there are actually two things I wanted to focus on. Number one, I wanted to eliminate the use of curved CS, or also so-called flowy lines. And the second thing I wanted to do was focus on the angles of the forms of the figure, specifically mainly the torso. So I'm starting my session not really eliminating my curved lines yet. I'm just warming up. As you can see, I'm focused on the stretching and the pinching. I'm really simplifying the limbs. I'm not really paying too much attention to them at all. The main reason for that is I am mainly using a timer with 30 seconds to 1 minute. And that is not too much time to really go through the whole figure in a complex manner. So I mainly focus on the torso and then the limbs. I usually do them in one continuous stroke. Another thing you can notice is that I'm usually starting my poses with the head. The reason for that is to not mess up my proportions. And another thing is I also draw in the center line. And the reason for that is the pelvis and the rib cage can often turn in different directions in space. So actually drawing in the center line helps me kind of like grab it better, to put it down and align the pelvis and the rib cage around it better. So now I'm just starting to draw only with straight lines. And as you can see, it's not really stiffening the pose at all. It has a different feel because it doesn't have all the soft curves, but it still has the pinching, it still has the stretching. I'm still trying to maintain the proportions. And most importantly, it still should feel more 3D. So the reason why I'm choosing this exercise, or why I chose to focus on these 2 points, was that there can be a tendency with using curved lines to think of them unknowingly as outlines, to not really consider them as something 3D, to not really think of them as forms, to just think of them as kind of like existing rhythm lines in 2D space on a piece of paper. You might not be aware of it, but it might be happening to you too. And eliminating these lines and only drawing with straight lines and making your figure look more boxy really pushes you to really see it in 3D, because there's nothing else left for you to do, really. And obviously, to show how a form turns in space, using a boxy form is the best way to go, because boxes are the only forms that have a clear division of its planes. Cylinders don't have that, spheres don't have that at all. I guess you can notice that with the legs, I could not help myself. And sometimes I still used curved lines. That is because I just felt like, honestly, it would just be too stiff for the limbs. Since I don't go too much in depth with them, it would really feel kind of ironically two-dimensional. So I still use curved lines for those. I'm also drawing in the lines on the head, showing the jawline and then the line at the brow area, how it turns to the side of the head. So that would be it for today's quick gesture study session. I hope you liked it. If you did, definitely subscribe and see you next time.